and welcome to the 64th Cork City Sports International Athletics meeting here at Cork Institute. Some fantastic names on offer, some domestic names and also some fantastic international names. From an Irish point of view, Brian Gregan, Mark English, Rob Heffernan, the 50 kilometres world champion. He'll be out to defend that world championship in Beijing later in the year. And also Kelly Proper, from an international point of view, the American. Hasn't had a great year, Mary Kane. She'll be running a little bit later on. The weather isn't really great. Hopefully, I don't get wet. Two men who certainly stay dry are up in the commentary box. Dick Hooper and first, Will Downing.
So Rob Heffernan, the reigning world champion, going in this for Ireland, as is Alex Wright, who declared in the past couple of years. Brendan Boyce, who along with Rob Heffernan qualified for the World Championships in Beijing. It's the sort of field that you'd expect him to be doing very well against. There he is, just around maybe 15 metres back at the moment, and it's these three who are taking it out, and Rob really has to accelerate in the final 2 1/4 laps. Does he have it in him? A little blowy he was, but he's in 4th place, and he's looking at the back of the singlets of the three in front of him, and can he reel them in with 2 laps to go?
Yeah, this is a really good race. Alec Wright is having a fantastic walk there in front. The Spaniard looks very easy back there in 3rd place. If I were a betting man, which I'm not, I would put a few bob on him. He just has that easy look of a man who's just thinking about when will I make my move. The South African appears to be working that bit harder. Rob is a bit tailed off now. That's a big gap to have to close. But fans of Rob, don't be too alarmed. As I said, this is 3K. It's nothing in comparison to a 50K. He's in the middle of a big training block for the World Championships in Beijing in August, and he's just using this as a blowout, as indeed are the others, but they're getting a better blowout than Rob maybe tonight, but he'll be a better man as a result of this tomorrow. Now we'll see the watch has been checked again.
Well, the gap now between Heffernan and the leading three is around 30 metres, and being lapped there is Cian McMenamin, who's down in 6th place at the moment, and the battle for victory here in Cork is between these three. It's between Alex Wright of Ireland, Lebagang Shange of South Africa, and Alberto Amezcua, who's in the green for Spain. There's Rob Heffernan back in 4th place, looking to be lapping McMenamin very shortly, but he is pretty much out of the running in terms of the top 3 at the moment, unless he can pull them back in the final 500 metres or so. However likely that is or not. Probably the latter, really. But the bell is on the way, and it's being led out here by Alex Wright, with Shange alongside. There's the bell. So it's Shange leading them right in 2nd, and now moving up in the outside. There's Amezcua, and Rob Heffernan now has to accelerate majorly around 30 metres down.
Alec Wright is a good story. He's born in England of Irish parents. He's in typical amateur and lovely with the romance of the Olympics. He's declared for Ireland because he thinks Irish walkers are more appreciated, better looked after than British walkers. He's declared he's come to live in Cork to learn the Rob Heffernan way of doing things, and he's doing it very well. Unfortunately at this stage, and it doesn't really matter over 3K, he's back in 3rd place. In deference to everything, the South African, who did so much work early on, has stolen a march on everybody.
Yeah, Shango is leading the way for South Africa here in the final 150 metres. 2nd place for Spain is Alberto Amezcua, and it's Alex Wright in 3rd for Ireland at the moment, and Rob Heffernan is back quite a bit in 4th place now, and they're going to be lapping Brendan Boyce in the closing straight. This has been very good work for the South African here. A personal best of 19.55 at altitude. He's going to take about a minute out of this. This is going to be a very good victory for South Africa, and Lebagang Shange will take the victory. 2nd for Spain will be Amezcua, and 3rd will be Alex Wright for Ireland, and the winning time is 18.56.84. Brendan Boyce takes the bell, so that's the good victory, and Rob Heffernan is on his way in now. Rob Heffernan crosses the line in 19.14, but it's a good victory for Lebagang Shange. That's the winning time, 18.56.84, with Amezcua in 2nd place and Alex Wright in 3rd, and Rob Heffernan down in 4th spot.
Real quality race for even Rob in 19.12. That's very close to his personal best, so he has to be happy with that. 2 men under 19 minutes. and the third guy, Alex Wright, was probably in or around 19 flat. They'll all be very happy with their performances tonight. As I said, a good lung-bursting blowout.
Well,
I ended up doing quite a lot of work, and then just in the last couple of laps I just didn't have it. So it's a very good race with all the guys, like very competitive. I'm delighted with it.
Rob's there with you, the whole four of you there. Where do you think you need to improve then?
I don't know, like I knew I wanted to do a fast time today, so I knew after the first K I'd have to do a bit of the work, and then I just ended up doing quite a lot of it. But it was a very good race with all of us. We all pushed each other the whole way, and I think we all got very good times out of it.
Great race. I knew the three boys were going to be very strong, so, and where I was coming from after surgery and everything, I didn't know what to expect. So I'm really happy with my time. It's really good for where I'm coming from. Obviously disappointed to be beaten, but it was a great race, and just, hopefully people enjoyed it.
How have you felt then leading into these World Championships this year? Obviously you've had that surgery, you've had a few injuries, so it's been very, very difficult.
Yeah, but saying that, that's still my third fastest time ever over 5K, and I'm in the middle of very heavy training at the moment, so I'm still tired coming into this and coming off surgery. It's a massive positive. So and I feel good now. I think I've pulled up well after it, and I think I'll get a good knock-on effect. And I'm going off altitude training now in the morning, so all is good.
The weather will certainly be better when you're training, but you're at home. You're Cork. It's been it's a great atmosphere here.
Yeah, it's brilliant. I think Cork people love their sport. It doesn't matter if it's hurling or football or soccer or rugby or athletics, and I think we love sport here in Cork, and they get behind all their sports people. So it's a brilliant meet.
Just a word on Alex. He's doing pretty well.
Yeah, I'm not surprised. Alex has the potential to be a big star, and he's proved that. And we trained together, and he's very, very talented. So I'm delighted he did that today, and he's going in the right direction. So it's brilliant,
Rob, thanks very much.
No, thanks.
now let's very quickly go back to the men's hammer, and a man who's enjoying a very fruitful time of it in this competition, Andy Frost of England. Second longest throw of the year in terms of this field, 66.43. And that throw we saw by Andy Frost, by the way, has put him into the lead in the men's hammer. The women's 100 metres, and it features three from Ireland in Claire Brady, Catherine McManus, and Shona Lowe of UCC and Lee Vale. Catherine McManus and Shona Lowe alongside wearing 160 of Lee Vale, and is the UCC Sprints captain. 154 Cleo Van Boren, who's won here the last 2 years. Barbara Pierre alongside her in 4. Pierre now in 5 and Boren in 6. And so they're away, and it was a very, very fast start. Too fast, in fact. And it is a red card, I think, against Barbara Pierre. Yes, it is. So Van Boren in 6, the one to watch. It's a full start. This doesn't remind you of anything at all, does it, Dick? No, it doesn't.
Another casualty there, Will.
It's Meadows.
153.
Meadows has gone. Well, they seem to all pretty much go together. So they're away at the third time of asking, and we're expecting a lot from Van Boren here. It's been a good start by Brady, but can she keep things rolling? Van Boren now coming into her own, and Van Boren will win it, and second place will be McManus, and Brady will be third, and 11.72 is the winning time for Cleo Van Boren. It's 0.11 outside her season's best, but that was a good, effective victory in the end.
Very smooth run from Cleo there. Pity that her two compatriots were marked absent in the lineup. Good runs too by the Irish girls, and it's good to see them in with an athlete at the calibre of Cleo. Cleo likes Cork, it seems.
So Cleo Van Boren gets the victory for the United States. 11.72, the winning time.
It was my second win. I got third my first year, but yes, I love Cork. I cannot complain.
You got a busy few weeks coming up.
Yes, I do. I will be in Europe for 3 weeks, actually. I go to Brussels for 2 meets, Sweden, and then I come back to Ireland and compete at the Morton Games in Dublin, so I'm excited about that.
What sort of differences do you find racing in Europe?
Food. The food is the difference. I always pack a luggage with snacks because I cannot survive without my snacks. But the weather primarily, because I train in Texas, so Texas is pretty much dry heat. So it's a big change coming from like 90 and 100 degrees to coming over here and it's like 50 or even colder and rainy. So you just got to get used to it. You have to be flexible being a professional athlete. You can't just be one-minded. So it's nice.
And you're talking about trying to get your husband here?
Yes, next year he's trying to hoodwink me into getting him to come to Europe with me next year instead of having a baby. And I'm like, okay, dear, it's whatever. But if he wants to come, I guess I can pack him in my luggage and we'll see if I can get him over here.
And the men's 100 metres, we have got 2 heats in this. It's Owen Walsh of Ireland, Enfo Tladley of South Africa, Lebekeng Sesele of South Africa, Philip Redrick of the USA, Ramon McKenzie of Jamaica, Zach Irwin for Ireland in lane 6. Clodoni Ogbene of Ireland and Lee Vale, he is in lane 7. And Odran Gilday of Sligo, the under-16 Community Games champion from 2011, he is in lane 8. Alongside. And away the first time of asking, and a very good start from Zach Irwin alongside him. Ramon McKenzie going very well too for Jamaica. And look at Sesele of South Africa go. Sesele might just have been run out of that in the end by McKenzie. And Irwin would have been high up there as well. 10.82, the winning time. And McKenzie, I think, might just have edged that in the end.
Yeah, Zach Irwin was third, Will, which looked excellent running for such a young man in that type of company. He's bound for the European Juniors next week as well. So he looks in good fettle.
So this is the A race. And this features Michael Matthew of the Bahamas, Maurice Mitchell of the United States. Ramon Gittins of Barbados also. So this A final features Kamil Masztak of Poland, Solomon Bokhari of Sierra Leone, Ramon Gittins of Barbados, Kemar Hyman of the Cayman Islands. So we've had 2 disqualifications, Masztak in 1, Bokhari in 2, Gittins 3, Matthew 5, Mitchell 6, Sumba in 8. Finally, they're away at the third time of asking. Very, very good start by the pole. Kamil Masztak in lane 1 and moving up is Gittins in 3, and Gittins is going to take this in a very good time. 10.23 for Ramon Gittins, and he gets the victory. And that was quite comprehensively done indeed. A lot of waiting, but finally the Olympian from Barbados strode through to get a very good win. 10.23, the winning time.
Yeah, his class and his hunger to win that race was rewarded. You could see how frustrated he was with the false starts, and he was really keen. He came to win tonight, and he got his win. Very good run.
It just looked as if coming up in second place was Maurice Mitchell of the United States. So victory for Ramon Gittins, 10.19, Maurice Mitchell second, 10.31, and Solomon Bokhari third for Sierra Leone, 10.32. Timmy Crow, who put in a very good performance in Athlone last year, you can see the win just opening up. So in this B race, it's Timmy Crow going in 4, Roman Vinzil in 5, and Christian Morton is in lane 6. So they are away. Timmy Crow, great performance last year in Athlone, and it's got him into the Indoor Championships in Prague, and he's already overtaking Armin Vinzil here, very impressively indeed, who's heading to the World Youth Championships in the next few weeks in Cali. Crow absolutely flying at the moment. It's Morton going very well in lane 6, but Crow, having already reeled in the South African, now looking to do the same to the Nigerian in the final 150 metres or so over the final 4 hurdles. It's Morton with a good advantage at the moment, but Crow well clear of Van Zyl, back into 3rd place, and now they straighten up, and it's Morton with a good lead in lane 6, but can Crow finally reel him in the final 50 metres? Doesn't look like it. Morton is over the last, and Crow will be in 2nd place, and Morton comes through to win, and he takes it 51.34. Crows in second place, and Van Zyl is in third, and that's a season's best for the Nigerian Christian Morton in winning here, 51.34. This the 8 for the A race, featuring for Ireland Jason Harvey. Jeffrey Gibson going in this also for the Bahamas, and Eric Cray, who had a very successful East Asian Games lately, which is won gold in the last couple of championships. Alongside him, lane 5, Jeffrey Gibson of the Bahamas. So we're the first time of asking, it's Eric Alejandro of Puerto Rico in 1, Seb Roger of Britain in 2, Quincy Downing of the United States in 3, Eric Cray of the Philippines in 4, Jeffrey Gibson of the Bahamas in 5, Jason Harvey of Ireland in 6, Miles Okama of Nigeria in 7, and Mahao Sugimati of Brazil in lane 8. And this is a really pounding start by Okama of Nigeria. But can he keep things going here, the 23-year-old? We've got the Southeastern Asian Games regular gold medalist champion. I took the honours again a couple of weeks ago, Eric Cray of the Philippines. And this is Jeffrey Gibson of the Bahamas, who's moved up now in lane 5. Cray in second place right alongside. And is there a little bit of a sting in the tail from Okama? It's going to be Gibson who's going to take this, and Gibson wins it well. And Okama is in second place, and Quincy Downing in third for the United States. And 49.64 is the winning time. Recovered very well and got the victory in the final 100 metres.
Well, true to form, the winner was the man who went into the race with the fastest time, Jeffrey Gibson from the Bahamas, and he gave a very good performance, gun to tape. He was always in control of that race. Looked a bit ragged over the last hurdle, but other than that, he was always in control. Really solid, competitive race. Jason Harvey will be a little bit disappointed, but I think the conditions really showed there tonight. Everybody down about a second and a half, so obviously the wind on the back straight is troublesome.
Yeah, the Commonwealth Games bronze medalist from Glasgow last year. Good pace and power as he got in ahead of Akuuma in the end in second place for Nigeria. And Downing was in third. Herself, but Abby D'Agostino, twice the Ivy League cross-country champion and the NCAA cross-country champion from last year, take it out well on the track here. 8:51.91 is a lifetime best. That's indoors. Season's best also indoors of 9 minutes 0.78, and she's hit the front now ahead of Mary Cullen, who's got an 8:48 lifetime best. The fastest of this field. She's in second place. D'Agostino's take it up. We've got 2 laps to go. Cullen in second place, and Kane is in third. And in fourth is Rachel Snyder. Fifth is Lyndon Hall. And in sixth, tucked in the inside, was Abby Bracey. Seventh was Faye Fullerton.
D'Agostino's made a very significant move here, and Mary Cullen is struggling to go with that break. It was the sheer tenacity of the acceleration when it came that took Mary by surprise. D'Agostino really looks good as she flows down the back straight. It's hard to see her coming back at this stage. She's actually going away from the field. Mary Cullen desperately looking for a glimmer of hope that D'Agostino is bluffing and that she won't be able to keep that going.
Well, they've run the hard yards in terms of the cross-country. Mary Cullen has represented Ireland in that, obviously. And that fine bronze medal in Turin 6 years ago now. But look at Abby D'Agostino go. Has she done enough? Not quite as fast as him, but she's going very well indeed in terms of the final 500 metres here. And now a little bit of movement in second place as Mary Kane is going up alongside Mary Cullen. The bell is on the way. Has Abby D'Agostino timed this absolutely right? A lap to go. D'Agostino leads and Kane moves up into second place, and Cullen right alongside. Cullen will take the bell in second place herself, and it's Kane in third, and in fourth is Rachel Snyder.
Oh, D'Agostino's flying. She's really up the pace here. 6:06 at 2K. She's going to come home in under 9 minutes. I'd say around 8:56, 8:57. Mary Cullen really battling hard for the minor placings. Mary Kane hanging in there as well, and Rachel Schneider not to be discounted. The race for the silver and bronze between those three, but D'Agostino, no mistake about it. Look how far clear she's gone in the last 600 metres.
It's D'Agostino who is clear by around 50 metres. Second, third and fourth, they're very tightly bunched together. D'Agostino has done very well here indeed. She looks to have made the break at exactly the right time. It's D'Agostino out in front, and the main battle now is for second place, because the main result, the number one, is going to be Abby D'Agostino. This is very, very impressive. D'Agostino comes through and she'll win sub 9 minutes. D'Agostino comes through, takes it 8:58.39, and in second is going to be Rachel Snyder here for the United States. Third is Mary Kane, and Mary Cullen, very good performance, coming through in fourth place. Heather Wilson is in fifth, but what a really good win by Abby D'Agostino. Oh, that was a great break that she made with around 600 to go. 8:58.39 the winning time.
Mary Cullen finished in fourth position with a time of 9:08. She's continuing her rehabilitation back to the top. Interesting run too. Michelle Finn had a fantastic run there from Lieve LAC. She ran 9:18. Huge chunk of improvement on her PB. But D'Agostino was really the class of that field. When she decided to go, she really went. She must have run that last kilometre in about 2:50, which is fantastic running on a night like that.
My goal was to, really focus the last 1,000 meters. I anticipated it being a super tactical race, just given the wind right now, and how long we had to wait around before. But that's like the most important part, to grind it out, and it's hard when you're alone. So I really wanted to practice that.
Mary Kane was with the pacemaker there. Was that your plan the whole way along, just to stick on her shoulder and then try and take it in that last 1,000?
I was just going to stick on whoever was leading, and just assess how I was feeling with 1K to go. And so I think I waited, maybe went like 900 to go, something like that. Waited till we got around the turn.
It's been some year for you, hasn't it? World Championships coming up.
Thank you. Yeah, I'm stoked for that. It's been like a steady spring, and I'm really, really thankful I can represent the U.S. this summer.
Well, good field in this. Mark English starting off in lane 6, but some good international Irish talent as well. Anthony Leggio, Niall Tui from Waterford and Ferrybank, Andreas Bube of Denmark, who was edged out into fourth place by Mark English at the European Championships in Zurich last year. Got a starting field of 13 in this, so it is very well stacked, but Mark English is definitely the one for us to watch tonight. Here's Michael Rutz, who won bronze for the United States in the 4x800 metres relay, the World Relays last year in the Caribbean.
With such a big field, 13 people, expect a few elbows to be flying.
It is a massive field of 13, and we're underway in the men's 800 metres. So Mark English, season's best 1:45.83, and looking to move out to the front straight away. We've got James Ledingham, by the way, who's in nominally as a pacemaker. He's in the West Waterford singlet of white and blue, and he's looking to move his way out ahead of the rest straight away, and he's done just that. And also going well for Uganda is Julius Mutinkanga, 1:49.29 this season. Ledingham, who works a lot on pacemaking duties these days, and he really is shooting out well ahead of the rest here. But in terms of the main race, it's Mutinkanga who's out in front at the moment, and English just behind him. And it looks to be Bob van der Ham of the Netherlands. He's wearing 8 in the yellow singlet, and just on the outside for Clonliffe, the American-based Declan Murray. So here comes the bell. It's around 52 seconds, and it's being led out at the moment by Mutinkanga. Ledingham to step away shortly. It's Mark English who's lying in second place and also going very well. Andreas Bue looks to have moved up quite well for Denmark here, but Ledingham steps out, and now here comes the main race with the lead held by the Ugandan Julius Mutinkanga. Now Mark English begins to put the foot down, and a good bit of acceleration also looks to be coming from Declan Murray, but it's Mark English out in front. Murray in second place at the moment with 200 metres to go, and English is working it very well, but they haven't got rid of the threat of Michael Rutt of the United States, the World Relay bronze medalist. He's moving up in on the outside, and English Well, you can see the grimace, looking to do his best to hold on, but now the movement comes, first of all from Michael Rutt, and then on the outside, pushing up is Andreas Bube, and Bube is going to beat English this time. Rutt, Bube, English is the 1-2-3, and it's Declan Murray in 4th place, and Mark English loses on Irish soil. 1:47.58 is the winning time.
I think it goes without saying that Mark English is going to be disappointed with that night's work. He looked absolutely fantastic until about 200 metres to go, and then he just didn't seem to have the strength to haul himself clear of the field, which is really what he should have been doing at that stage. He just didn't have the power, he didn't have the acceleration, he came off the bend, and as soon as the winner went past him, he looked disconsolate, to be honest with you. I hope it's a one-off. It's not going to help his confidence in the build-up to the European under-23s towards the weekend. He's going to feel the pressure now. He's going to be asked a lot of questions, both in the press and of himself and his confidence. Hopefully he'll be able to deal with it.
Mark, you look a bit tired there. Do you think you went to the front a bit early there? Is that what maybe tired you out?
I don't think so. I don't think it was my tactics today. I just didn't feel great out there, but you know, you get these races, and I think when you sit back and you look at, you know, how the last few weeks went, it's easier to identify what went wrong. So I'm not going to jump to any conclusions yet, and I have a few races to look forward to the next few weeks.
Yeah, under 23 track and field championship you're off to next week, so you've got plenty of races ahead of you before those world championships.
Yeah, exactly. You know, I've already run 1:45 this year, and I felt I got a lot left in that race. So I know I just need to get back into that kind of a zone where 1:45 is easy, and hopefully the rest will come a bit easier.
Is that the problem? Making sure you peak at just the right time?
Yeah, it's always the challenge for an 800 metre event, you know. A bit easier for a 400. You can always smash out a 46, 47 for 400, but it's much tougher to try to get the balance right for an 800, you know. But I've still got a lot of time left to get things right, so hopefully I can.
And among the starting lineup in this, Kyle Merber, who is 3:54 lifetime best. Duncan Phillips, his fellow American, 5 times All-American. Riley Masters, Owen Everard, the first Kilkenny man to do a 4-minute mile, which we were at, 3:58.93. Danny Mooney from Letterkenny is there also, 4:02, his lifetime best. So underway in the men's mile is Carl Marbury of the United States and Duncan Phillips from the USA. Riley Masters from Australia, Tommy Schmitz of the USA, Julian Oakley of New Zealand, Owen Everard of Ireland, Rob Mullett of England, Danny Mooney of Ireland, Chant Miller and Reid Connor of Australia, Richard Weir of England, Tomas Cotter, Rory Finnegan, John Coughlin, Joe Warren, William Monsell of Ireland, Krzysztof Zabrowski of Poland, Peter Gaffney of Ireland, and Will Gagan of the United States from Eugene, Oregon, who was drafted into this earlier today, having originally been entered into the 3,000 metres. 3:57.93 is his lifetime best, and our pacemaker is Peter Gaffney.
That's actually Dermot McDermott from Sligo, who's out front there at the moment, and Peter Gaffney on his shoulder. Good American content in this field, all right, with Julian Oakley also from New Zealand. Owen Everard is there from Ireland. Owen has been running very well. John Coughlin from MSB, who's moved up to the steeplechase this year but has run 3:59 indoors, is right there, and he's the leading Irishman at the moment. Danny Mooney in there as well.
Yep, Will Gagan wearing 60, 3:57, his lifetime best, run just a few weeks ago in Eugene, Oregon, 3:57.93. He's wearing 60. It's the same singlet that the Pole Krzysztof Zabrowski is wearing. Realistically, in second place. Now it's Peter Gaffney and Seoul pacemaking duty as McDermott has stepped up for the moment, and John Coughlin in a good position as well. Third place, taking the pacemaker Gaffney out of the equation. But right now, Will Gagan has opened up a really good gap, keeping up with the pacemaker very well, and a good advantage of around 10 metres between he and Zabrowski in realistically second place. And on his shoulder, John Coughlin, and just behind him from Derby, Richard Weir, and also Tommy Schmitz of the United States going well also. But Gagan is going really great guns here at the moment, and when they pass the finish line, there'll be 2 laps to go.
Yeah, Will Gagan is really poised. He's 1:59, 2 minutes at the bell. Realistically, he looks the best poised for the sub 4 minute mile. It's going to be difficult for the remainder. They're going to have to wind it up on the third lap, which notoriously is the lap where the pace drops. people who win miles, people who commit to races do damage on the third lap. That's exactly what Will Geoghegan is doing at the moment. He's stretching out this field. He's actually going away from it. And if the pack don't wake up soon, they're all going to be running for second and third.
Well, it's Kyle Merber who's leading the chasing pack alongside Duncan Phillips at the moment. Season's best for Merber is 4:05 and Phillips is 4:01. It's a really large lead at the moment of, I would make it around 40 metres, but it's still Geoghegan who's looking quite comfortable in front, and can he keep that comfort going? There's the chasing bunch, Merber and Phillips, and then Owen Everard was going quite well in fourth place. Into the closing straight, the bell is on the way, and it's Will Geoghegan who's leading the way, and he leads by around 45 metres or so, and he hits the bell bang on 3 minutes. Second place, it's Merber. Moving up as Phillips into third, and a big charge on the outside by Rob Mullett of England. Masters is up there for Australia also.
Geoghegan had a 4-second lead at the bell. He was bang on schedule at 3 minutes. He's going to break 4 if he can just keep that effort going, which is difficult on his own. He's running scared. He has a pack chasing him down the back. They've started sprinting now. From now on, it'll be all closure on Will Geoghegan. Has he got the strength? Has he got the hunger? Has he the willpower to hold on?
Well, Geoghegan has run 3:57 this year, and he doesn't look as if he's going to be too far away here. He's heading into the closing bend. The real race now is going to be for second place. He's done brilliantly here, Will Geoghegan, and they really are revving it up behind him. It's Merber and Phillips, and now here comes Will Geoghegan into the closing straight, and he looks as if he's going to break 4 minutes. If he doesn't, he'll come very close. It's 3:59. He takes it, and it's Masters in second place in the end, ahead of Merber in third, and fourth was Rob Mullett, fifth was Phillips, and I think it was Owen Everard coming through into sixth place, maybe a season's best for him, but 3:59.09 the winning time for Will Geoghegan, and he moved across successfully from the 3,000 metres that he was due to start in, and it was the right decision. He's won this very well indeed. 3:59.09.
He got what he deserved there tonight. He was the one man who really committed to the pace, went with the pacemaker, wasn't afraid when the pacemaker dropped out to take it up on his own. Everybody else just got psyched out by the conditions, by the wind on the back straight. They thought about it too much, and Will Geoghegan, he just took it away.
Yes, really good victory in the end for Will Geoghegan. He takes the triumph. 3:59.09.
Yeah, I mean, I heard the Rabbits were going through 800, pretty aggressively, well under 2 minutes. So the plan was just to hang on to them for dear life.
8th in the US trials. It just shows you how much strength and depth there is in American running at the moment.
Yeah, the 1500 group that we're sending to Worlds is fantastic. I think they all have a chance to medal. So just to be racing against those guys was a great experience.
So it's Fuditari of Italy, Lisa of the United States, Jones USA, Newton USA, Catherine McManus of Ireland, and Pamela Jurkovic of Germany, the starting six in this. And so we're away at the first time of asking, and Jones looked to have got a good start in lane 3, and Newton alongside, and it's Jones just marginally leading at the moment, and Jones is going to come through. Not by much he gets the victory, but gets there in the end ahead of Elisa Serena who was in second place, and the winning time 13.34.
He's down in there.
Laura Crow running out of lane 4 in this, along with Deirdre Doyle. Kato Halloran in this as well. She's the other athlete in lane 8, along with the American Mary Goldkamp, who's on pace duties, we're told.
800 metres is generally won by the person who slows down the least in the second half.
So underway in the women's 800 metres. It's Schneider of the United States, Guerrero of Spain, Stakova of Slovakia, Doyle of Ireland, Crow of Ireland, Lind of Sweden, Camp of the USA, Wallace USA, O'Halloran of Ireland, and Goldkamp of the USA, wearing 29, who's going to be on pacemaking duty and pushing out right in front straight away. But good to see Laura Crow getting off to a very solid start, and Heather Camp just behind her, realistically in second place. and it's Lauren Wallace immediately behind her, and then Louisa Luntz of Sweden, currently 5th place, but Goldkamp leading them out at the moment in pace duties. Crow just holding on to her, and on her shoulder is Kamp. So this looks as if it's leading up to be a very, very good race, and at the end of this closing straight, it's the bell.
Yeah, Laura has really committed to this race. She looks great. She's sitting on the shoulder of the leader, wearing number 22 and going through spot on 59 seconds. So Laura's given herself a right old chance. She's stuck in the lead there now because the pacemaker has gone out, so she's committed to the front. Does she believe that she has the strength to hold on? Does she believe that she's enough training done? Does she believe in her form? Those questions will be answered right now down the back straight.
And it's Crow who's leading out Kamp at the moment in 2nd place, and Wallace is moving it up quite well too for the United States. But it's between, right now, Laura Crow and Heather Kamp battling this one out, and in 4th place is Louisa Luntz. And now here comes the big movement coming from Heather Kamp to hit the front with 200 metres to go. There's Crow of anything left in the tank here. 2:03.97 is her season's best. It's Kamp comes through into the closing straight. Can Crow fight back into this? Can she defend 2nd place successfully as Lauren Wallace is coming up on her outside? Lint is back in 4th place. It's being led out by Kamp, and it's going to be 2nd place for Wallace. It's a US 1-2. It's Kamp and Wallace, and it's Crow in 3rd and Lint in 4th for Sweden. And 2:03.09 unofficial is the winning time, but Heather Kamp came through with a very good victory, and Crow just run out of it down into 3rd in the end as Wallace came 2nd.
Yeah, Laura ran really well. She gave it her all. She had a go, went through the bell in sub 2 minute pace, went through in about 58.5. She was right on for it. Yeah, I think it simply came down to the conditions on the night. They weren't conducive to really fast running, and all the athletes got tested by the thing. The race slowed down to a 2-3 winning time. It's very difficult when it's windy there to run really fast. I thought Laura was magnificent tonight.
That is a season's best for Heather Kamp.
I haven't raced the 800 very much this year. I've been focusing more on the 15, so this is just my 2nd 8, but I was glad to improve on that performance in kind of cold and windy conditions. So,
considering it's the season best, that win when you come around the back straight there, certainly into your face, isn't it?
Yeah, I almost regretted taking the lead on the curve there because I realized I'd be doing all of it on my own on the home stretch, but you have to just take those risks and trust yourself.
On we go, women's 200 metres coming up, and one of the great recent Irish names in this, in Kelly Proper. Cleo Van Boren won earlier tonight. Can she complete a double? Kelly Proper, the 34 times Irish champion, 19 indoor, 3 titles this year, 15 outdoors, but this year, Dick, concentrating very much on the sprints.
Oh yeah, Kelly is one of the great characters of Irish athletics. I wonder who gets to clean all those medals on the weekends. Kelly's so busy accumulating more, it must be somebody else in the house gets that job, but she is a fantastic athlete, fantastic competitor, very charismatic, and a wonderful servant to Ferrybank Athletic Club.
So the women's 200 metres, and Kelly Proper representing Ireland on her own. It's Tawana Meadows in 3, Kelly Proper in 4, Ashley Spencer in 5, and Cleo Van Boren is in lane 6. Proper has been the fastest of this field this season. She's already taken on and overtaken Ashley Spencer very well, but it's Cleo Van Boren in 6, who she'll really have to watch out for. She started brilliantly here as Kelly Proper. Can she beat the rest of the Americans here? They're beginning to fight back. Either side, Meadows in 3, Spencer in 5, and Proper's being overtaken on either side, and it's going to be victory for Spencer, and it looked as if Meadows just took it 2nd place. And Proper would have been ace back into 3rd, and she did really well there for, well, maybe about 165 metres. And then either side, Meadows and Spencer overtook, and victory for Spencer in the end. Cleo Van Boren was back in 4th place.
Yeah, she was just caught a little bit for pace and strength, just the maintenance of what she had done getting around the the bend and had done so well. She was very tight, but she did get the nod, so that's great for second.
Good call. Kelly Proper, second place, 24.38. Victory for Spencer, 24.16. So Meadows was third and Van Boren was in fourth place.
I was lucky to hold on for second. I raced Sunday out in Germany. I had a good win out there. Travelled home yesterday, but I wanted to race here, so it's great to not ideal conditions, but same for everybody. So I'm happy that I felt I was strong. Maybe it's a bit of the travelling still in my legs in the last 50 metres, but that's the way it goes and you have to get used to it.
You've got another month or so until you can still qualify. What's up next then?
I'm going to Switzerland this day next week for a big race. So everything is geared towards that now, so I'm really looking forward to it.
So here's the start list for the B race in the men's 200 metres, featuring Zach Irwin for Ireland from Sligo. International duty for him later this month. Masztak of Poland did very well in the 100 metres. Fitton and McKenzie for Jamaica also. The B race of the men's 200 metres, and they're away this time around. Now can Irwin get off to a good start? Sesele's done very well, got off to a great start in 6th, and Irwin trying to straighten up, and Irwin doing quite well at the moment, but look at this really strong lead by Masztak of Poland. He's way out in front at the moment, and can he be reeled in by Feeney here? It's going to be a Polish victory. Masztak takes it. Feeney in second place and Sesele third for South Africa. And the winning time, 21.45. And Masztak did brilliantly. Ran Sesele down very well, and Feeney of the United States just couldn't keep up with him. So the A race in the men's 200 metres features Brian Gregan. So underway in the 200 metres A race, Buckery, Gittin, Sumba, Mitchell, Matthew Gregan, Mitchell and Redrick, who was called in as a late replacement. So can Gregan move up well here in lane 6? Well, it looks as if there's been a bit of trouble for Redrick here, and Gregan's falling behind, and it's Maurice Mitchell who comes out, lead them home, and in second place, Gittin's close on the line, ultimately with Solomon Bukhari. 21.07, the unofficial winning time, and Gregan looked to be back in fourth place there.
Yes, but given the conditions, a very good run all around. The winning time is solid, 21.07. Brian Gregan, we all know he's not a 200-metre runner, he's a 400-metre runner. He's using that as speed work. He looked good tonight. I thought he looked sharp, and he looked like a man who's rounding into a nice bit of shape.
Yeah, fourth place in the end for Brian Gregan tonight, and Solomon Buckery was given the nod in second place, with Mitchell taking the victory and Gittins down in third.
Brian Gregan, what do you think of that?
Yeah, it was fine. I'm in a heavy block of training, so I'm not exactly sharp, but it's always good to come out of Cork, represent your club, your country, and get around out for the Irish people, because it's not often that they get to see their top athletes compete, so it's always good to support home meets, and yeah, it's fun. Weather's pretty poor, but it's always good to come to Cork.
What have you made of your season?
It's been up and down. I suffered an injury just before the World Relays, meaning I had to pull out, hurt my hamstring, and basically been playing catch up for the last 2 months, but I've got a good solid block of 2 weeks now. Another 2 weeks and I reckon I'll be ready to go and back into the 45s.
And this is Norris Frederick of the United States. Fourth round attempt for the American. And that will be a white flag. He's done very well indeed, and that might be the leap of the night. Looked to have gone out a good distance there, Norris Frederick. Foul in the opening round. Follow that up with a 6.83. Has Frederick managed to outdo himself there? Yes, 7 meters 36, and Norris Frederick is in the lead as they come down the closing straight for the third last time. Little bit of movement coming on the outside from Brett Robinson for Australia now, and even further from Dave McNeil, his international compatriot. Jonathan Peterson at the moment getting slightly boxed in fourth place, and in fifth is Jeff C again. In 6th is Joe Stillen, who had led for quite a bit of this race. And down in 7th place now, Maverick Darling. It's these 8 who are leading the way, well clear of the bunch, and we've got 700 metres to go.
Yeah, I think you're going to see the Australians go for it now. Schrader has been leading up to this. The Aussies have made a move down the back straight. We've got a dinger of a race now for the last 600 metres. US versus Australia.
Brett Robinson out in front, 8th in the World Junior Championships in the 1500 metres in Moncton in Canada 5 years ago. Competed in the World Championships 2 years ago in Moscow. He's got the advantage at the moment, ahead of Jeff C of the United States. Back then in 3rd is Dave McNeil for Australia. 4th, wearing 96, but still will place for the USA, is Brian Schrader. Joe Stillen trying to move up. He's in 5th, and then a little bit of a gap back into 6th place for Maverick Darling. But here we go. The bell is coming, and it's being taken first here by Brett Robinson. And going with him is Jeff C. This is going to be very fast. They went through in around 6:50, and he's still holding the advantage is Robinson. It's Robinson in C, and the rest around 15 metres back.
Yeah, Robinson is leading out, but Jeff C is poised, ready to strike. But Robinson is making it very difficult for him. C was lining up a big kick, and Robinson has made his break now. He hasn't got enough ground to say that he's won it. C is hanging in there. Robinson is giving it his all around by the steeplechase. Can C hold on?
Robinson in front with 150 to go and trying to open the gap on Jeff C, but he hasn't been able to shrug off this talented young American just yet. Robinson coming into the closing straight, has a little look around and begins to put the hammer down now. He's got a good kick, and Robinson will come through to win. C will be in 2nd place. Stillen will be in 3rd. 7:51.02 is the winning time. In 4th place is Dave McNeil, and then in 5th, coming through was Brian Schrader. 6th was Maverick Darling. 7th was Jonathan Peterson. And now there's a little bit of a trot home in 8th place. It's going to be Ford Palmer for the United States. 9th will be Mads Terboll of Denmark. 10th will be Rory Chesser. Top Irishman comes home.
So Kevin Mulcair, the junior, he didn't break any records tonight. 8:19. He found it tough in that competition. I'd say the early pace would have got to a younger man like him. Rory Chesser, the first Irishman home. But a really good race to round off the evening. Australia versus the US. Where would you get it?
Well, I make Rory Chesser through in 10th place, but what a very good win. Brett Robinson of Australia.
Brett, a super win.
Yeah, it was great. It was really hard actually. This wind did not help at all, but I tried to use it to my advantage. I went with a tailwind to try and get a bit of a gap, and I actually raced Jeff C in March, and I used the exact same tactics. But today, he kept up for a long time, and I was glad with that 150 to go, he started giving me a gap. But yeah, that was really hard.
A look at some other victors of the night, with Laura Cusson of Old Abbey winning the women's pole vault ahead of West Waterford Geo, Lisa Houlihan and Megan O'Connor. Minai Donison of Romania claiming the men's high jump, 2:22, as high as he would go. In the junior races, the 1500 metres women going to Carla Sweeney of Rathfarnham, with Killian Kerwin of Raheny Shamrock beating off Gary Campbell of Dunleer to take the men's 1500 junior title. Luke Horgan. This is going to be a good sprint to the line, and it's Killian Kerwin leading it out ahead of Gary Campbell at the moment. Campbell, who led for a lot of the race, but it's going to be 2nd place for him behind Killian Kerwin, who does well to win, and in the end he takes it in 3:54.10. It's the men's 3000 metres open crown going to East Cork and Michael Hart. He's going to come through to win. It'll be inside 9 minutes. What a glorious victory for Michael Harty of East Cork. He wins it 8:43.51. 2nd place to Kevin Chesser of Ennis. 3rd is going to be Stuart Maloney of Moorabbey, and another man, Tim Toomey of Leeville, comes through in 8th place. Famous name in athletic circles round these parts, but what a good victory for Michael Harty of East Cork AC.
We had a great time. We trust you did as well. See you next time. Bye-bye.